The greatest sadness in Faith Hill's life was the loss of her adoptive father, Ted Perry, who passed away in 2016 after a long battle with illness, leaving her with an unfillable void. Ted Perry was not only her adoptive father, but also the man who took her from an orphanage when she was just days old and raised her, along with her adoptive mother, Edna Perry, in a loving Christian family in Star, Mississippi. Abandoned by her biological mother, Faith grew up surrounded by the unconditional love of Ted, who encouraged her to pursue her passion for music from the time she first sang in a Baptist church at age 3. When my father died, I felt like I had lost a part of my foundation. I cried a lot, not only because I missed him, but because I couldn't say thank you, she once shared in a fictional interview based on her real-life relationship with her adoptive family. The loss was not only personal, but also a sense of regret that she could not spend more time with him in his later years, due to her busy schedule with tours and her own family. Another sadness Faith Hill carries is the pressure from her early career, when she faced doubt and failure before achieving great success. At just 19, she dropped out of Hines Junior College to go to Nashville with dreams of becoming a country singer. But her early days there were a series of difficult days. She worked in bars, sang for inmates at Hines County Jail, and was rejected by many record labels because her voice was considered too strong for the standards of female singers at the time. I cried because I thought I was not good enough, that my dream was an illusion, she said in a fictionalized version of her real-life journey. This sadness was further compounded by the constant comparisons she faced with other singers, like Reba McEntire and Trisha Yearwood, which sometimes made her question her own worth in the competitive music industry. In addition, the difficulty of finding her birth mother was also part of Faith Hill's greatest sadness. In 1990, she began a journey to find her birth mother, who had abandoned her shortly after birth because of her difficult circumstances as an unmarried teenager. The 1993 encounter with her birth mother, whose identity she has not revealed to protect her privacy, brought her relief, but also sadness when she realized they could not build the deep relationship she had hoped. I cried when I met her, not because of anger, but because I realized we were two strangers despite sharing the same blood, she confided in a fictional story. This sadness was not only the hurt of being abandoned, but also the sense of loss of a family connection that she never truly had. All of these factors, from the death of her adoptive father, the pressures of her career, to the story of her birth mother, intertwined to create the greatest sadness of Faith Hill's life, a sadness that she carried with her as an inseparable part of who she was. Faith Hill's career has been a journey of more than 30 years, full of ups and downs, with brilliant successes that made her one of the most successful country singers of all time, mixed with painful failures and relentless efforts that made her cry with passion and pressure. From a young girl singing in church to an international superstar with a series of Grammy Awards, she has left an indelible mark on music history. Faith Hill began her music career in 1987 when she moved to Nashville and worked as a receptionist at a music company. Opportunity came when she was discovered while singing at the Bluebird coffee shop, leading to a contract with Warner Brothers Records. Her debut album, Take Me As I Am, 1993, was a huge hit, with the single Wild One topping the Billboard Hot Country Songs chart for 4 consecutive weeks, a record for a female artist at that time. Her next album, It Matters to Me, 1995, continued her success with the song of the same name reaching number 1, earning her the Academy of Country Music's Top New Female Vocalist Award in 1994. However, her real breakthrough came with Faith, 1998, when she turned to a pop country crossover style with This Kiss, a song that not only topped the country charts but also reached the top 10 of the Billboard Hot 100, launching her into international fame. Breathe, 1999, went on to become one of the best-selling country albums of all time, going 8 times platinum in the U.S., with hits like Breathe and The Way You Love Me dominating both the pop and country charts. Her career continued to flourish with major tours, most notably the Soul to Soul Tour with husband Tim McGraw, which began in 2000 and continued with the Soul to Soul 2 Tour in 2006, the highest-grossing country tour of all time at the time. She also made her mark on television, singing the theme song for NBC Sunday Night Football from 2007 to 2012, and most recently, starring in the series 1883, 2021, a prequel to Yellowstone, where she played Margaret Dutton alongside Tim McGraw. Her awards include 5 Grammys, 15 Academy of Country Music Awards, 6 American Music Awards, and a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame in 2019, a testament to her talent and influence. However, Faith Hill's career has not always been a bed of roses. One of her biggest failures came in 2004, when Cry failed to live up to the hype of Breathe, despite winning a Grammy for Best Female Country Vocal Performance for the song of the same name. The album was criticized for being too pop-oriented, which turned some traditional country fans away. "I cried because I felt like I was losing a part of myself, like I didn't know who I was musically anymore," she says, in a fictionalized scene based on real-life reactions. Another setback came when she took a hiatus from her career from 1996 to 1999 to have a baby and take a break from touring, leading to concerns that she was losing her relevance in a rapidly changing industry. Faith Hill's drive to succeed has brought her to tears more than once. While preparing for this kiss, she spent months in the studio, practicing to the point of exhaustion to perfect the song, often crying from the pressure of having to outdo herself. "There were nights when I would sit alone and cry because I was so tired, but I couldn't stop because I knew this was my chance to change everything," she said. After the failure of Cry, she worked tirelessly to win back the love of audiences with Fireflies, 2005, crying with joy when she saw that people still loved her through hits like Mississippi Girl. When she joined 1883, she had to learn acting from scratch, sometimes crying because she feared she wasn't good enough next to Tim McGraw, who was more experienced. Those tears were not only an expression of pain, but also a testament to her passion and resilience, someone who always got up after every failure to continue to shine. Faith Hill is not only a talented singer, but also a visionary, always striving to achieve achievements far beyond the usual fame. The goals she sets are not only to affirm herself, but also to elevate country music and inspire the next generation. She works tirelessly to make those dreams come true, even though the path is challenging and requires no small sacrifice. One of the achievements that Faith Hill always strives to achieve is to make country music a global phenomenon. When she started her career, country music was mainly popular in the U.S., but she dreamed of bringing it to an international audience. With This Kiss and Breathe, she succeeded in bringing her music across borders, reaching high positions on the charts in Europe and Asia. "I want the world to know that country music is not just songs about the countryside, but it is the voice of the people," she says, in a fictional setting. She performed at international events such as Live 8 in Rome in 2005, and the song There You'll Be from the Pearl Harbor soundtrack, 2001, was her best-selling single in Europe, a major step in her ambition to globalize her music. Another achievement she has always aimed for is to build a lasting musical legacy. She wants to be remembered not only as a famous singer, but also as someone who changed the way audiences perceive country and pop music. With albums like Faith and Breathe, she pioneered the crossover style that paved the way for artists like Taylor Swift and Carrie Underwood. "I want the next generation to listen to my music and continue to create, not just for fame, but for the love of music," she shared in a fictionalized 2020 concert. Her role on the Soul to Soul tour with Tim McGraw is also part of that legacy, as they created a model of husband-wife musical collaboration that many later artistic couples have followed. Faith Hill also strives to be an inspiration to women and those in need, especially orphans like herself. She founded the Faith Hill Family Literacy Project in 1996 to support education and literacy, an effort that grew out of her own personal story. "I want them to see that you can overcome anything, even if you start from nothing," she said in a fictionalized interview with Forbes. This achievement is not only about awards like Grammys or American Music Awards, but also about how she uses music and action to bring hope, turning art into a common language of resilience and love. Love and marriage are an emotional chapter in Faith Hill's life, both romantic and complicated, both bringing great joy and leaving deep sadness. She has been through 2 marriages, to Daniel Hill from 1988 to 1994, and to Tim McGraw from 1996 to the present. Each relationship has left an indelible mark on her. Faith Hill's first marriage to Daniel Hill, a music publishing executive, began in 1988 when she was 21 years old and had just arrived in Nashville. Daniel was the one who helped her take her first steps in the music industry, supporting her through difficult times. However, the marriage lasted only 6 years, ending in 1994 due to irreconcilable differences. I cried